Let's meet someone who turned a bold vision into a nationwide movement, empowering women, redefining fitness, and inspiring thousands along the way. I'm Kate Sage. The Inspired CEO starts now. Welcome to The Inspired CEO, where each episode we explore the innovative wellness practices that are driving success and longevity in the modern business world. In this interview, we speak with Diana Williams, the visionary founder of Fernwood Fitness, about her journey from humble beginnings to beginning Australia's leading women's-only health club, her power for empowering women, and the legacy she's creating through fitness and community. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you, Kate. It's a pleasure to be here.
I cannot believe that you started Fernwood Fitness in 1989, is that right?
That's right, yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
What a huge journey it must have been.
It has been an amazing journey when I think back, because I'm kind of one of those people who keep looking forward and seeing what I can do to improve it. When I stop and look back from where I was and where the industry was, to back over those 36 years, it's been quite profound.
Yes.
A lot of hurdles to jump over and challenges to overcome. And
Aerobic steps.
aerobic steps, which now are no longer called aerobics because
Yes.
it's called group fitness, and everything has a lot of things have changed over those years. Yeah.
And you weren't just the typical aerobics female either, were you?
No, I wasn't. I didn't actually like aerobics. I was more into, well, I wasn't actually into exercise. I joined a gym, which was a bodybuilding gym, and it was full of men and lots of bodybuilding photos around the wall and lots of guys
So
there.
the 1980s.
1980s. It
Wow.
was not a place that I felt at all comfortable. I got looked at a lot by all the guys in the gym, and women joined, but they didn't stay for long. They'd come and then they'd leave. They wouldn't stay there because it wasn't a place where women really felt comfortable.
Yes.
But I got into the weight training and I really loved it. I was so impressed with how weight training improved my physically, emotionally, my confidence, my metabolism, which was amazing because I love to eat. And so all of a sudden I could eat the food I loved and didn't put on weight. I was, my muscles were all toned up. And I thought, why aren't more women doing this? Because women only did aerobics back then. They didn't actually do weight training because the weight training in a gym was not a place where most women would want to be. So that started the whole idea of why not set up a place where women could actually discover what I discovered by doing weight training in a place where it had all the lovely little touches that women appreciate. And it started there. It was not ever intended to be a big national chain. It was not even, I never even thought about it as being a business really. I just thought it'll be a place where women can come and I'll work out with them, like a women's club, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so we started off in a little abandoned schoolroom, actually, a tiny little room with
And whereabouts?
in Bendigo.
Oh.
Yes, in Bendigo in central Victoria. I was a stay-at-home mum at the time. I had 2 teenage children. Yeah, and so I had plenty of time. So basically, I just went off and got myself qualified to be a gym instructor.
Yes.
And started up this gym, and I sent out letters to all of the hairdressers in Bendigo and told them I was starting this women's gym.
Good way to spread the word.
I know, it was sort of like social media before social media started, wasn't it? Yeah. And that got the word out there. You know, it was a really good way to get a word of mouth advertising. I didn't have a whole lot of money to pour into this. It wasn't, as I said, it really wasn't intended to be a business, and I wasn't expecting to become a national chain or anything like that.
And with the weightlifting, though, take me back to, I heard some weights that you lifted. They were very heavy, over 100 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely they were. And I was only 55 kilos then, so I was only tiny. Yes, I used to squat 110 kilos and I deadlift 120 kilos. I was very, because, basically you're just trained to do that. And I was so toned, and before I did weight training, I was not so toned, I needed to do that. But women never ever ever did that kind of exercise. It was not something women did, or as far as I know anyway.
And I feel like it's still revolutionary. It's still something that a lot of women haven't discovered, the power of weight training.
I know. Tell me about it. Look, I've spent the whole last 36 years trying to convince women to do weight training, and the first thing they say, "Oh, I don't want to look like a walnut. I don't want to look like a bodybuilder." You know.
Yeah.
But they won't. I've never met a woman yet who isn't impressed with her toned body.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I think a lot of people think that they're going to look like a bodybuilder or a body sculptor, but they're not. Those women who do that kind of exercise, they trim themselves right down with no fat at all. But that normally nobody walks around looking like that all the time.
No,
That's
right.
They just basically starve themselves for the event.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And I think if people understood that can I expose your age?
Yes.
Diana is 80 years of age and you still weight train?
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable. So
Yeah.
not only do you look 30 years younger.
Wow, that's good. Thank you.
But you're still working, you're still busy.
Yeah.
There's no way someone could ever pick your age. So I feel like weight training is literally the secret to anti-aging.
I think it is actually because it's not just not how you look, it's how you feel, it's your internal organs or your whole anatomy is affected through weight training, your bones, your diseases that people get, can be alleviated or you become less susceptible to those sort of things if you do some serious weight training. And a lot of people think it's just running that you need to do, but actually weight training is very beneficial in a lot of areas. Anyway, with weight training, I got a lot of problem getting women to do weight training in the early days, but these days now with J-Lo and all of these people, women are now getting into it, which is fantastic because there's a lot more women doing weight training.
And body image now is very much about being stronger, not thinner.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
Helps.
Yeah, being thin is not the thing anymore. No, it doesn't matter what size you are as long as you're healthy and strong.
And I think in this day and age where everybody loves to eat and a lot of the food that's on offer really isn't the right sort of food. And if we are tempted to eat those things, you have to be doing weight training.
You do, absolutely.
To support metabolism.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to lose weight and not exercise, you have to eat things like lettuce and no fats and,
barely eat, really.
Very bland food. If you do weight training or any exercise really, but weight training in particular, you can have the fats. You can have all those things in moderation and your food is so much tastier. And we're all, well, I'm a foodie anyway.
I'm a foodie as well. I love food. And it's a funny thing you say that you were 55 kilos, lifting over 100 kilos and eating whatever you wanted to eat.
Exactly.
Of that.
Yes.
Yeah, incredible.
It is. Yeah, more people should be doing it.
Yes. And okay, so you've got the gym in Bendigo. How does it scale up from one gym to over 74 gyms, is it now?
It is 74 now and we're still growing. Yes, well, I think I'm one of those people who can't leave something alone. If I start something, I have to keep improving it and making it better and saying, what can I do now? And so it grew initially because the members that came in, they brought their friends and there was a lot more people coming and it sort of a lot of members and their friends from out of town would come and say, I wish there's one of these where I come from, and they got me thinking about the idea of expanding. But because I was so intent and I loved my business and I was there all the time and making it all pristine and beautiful, I thought, how am I going to get staff in another place to do what I do?
Yes.
I went to a fitness convention in Sydney in 1982 and a keynote speaker from America was there and he said that the fitness industry would become inundated by chains from overseas. And I thought, well, maybe that's what we should do. And then
were there many franchises
there
for
were
anything back then?
There were not a lot, and franchising had a bad name
because of McDonald's, or
not because of McDonald's. Had a bad name because there were a lot of franchisors who started up a franchise and didn't look after their franchisees, did the wrong thing by them, and franchisees went broke, and the chains collapsed, and people lost money.
Right.
So actually, I started not really realizing this, but I started this business when the fitness industry was not. There was also a lot of bad press about the fitness industry as well. There were a few chains that had gone bust because they'd opened up, sold a whole lot of memberships and then closed the doors and
Oh,
took the money.
right, taking the money.
Yeah, so I hadn't thought about it at the time, but the fitness industry and the franchising industry back then didn't have very good reputation. But anyway, that didn't faze me. I just kept,
And you were female in
and
the
I was female, and I
1980s
had no
doing
business
weights.
experience.
Yes.
I didn't have a lot going for me, really, which is why when I went to the banks to try and borrow money, they really weren't too keen to listen to me. But anyway, I think that's a good thing because I grew Fernwood organically rather than borrowing money and using other people's
Yes.
money. It just grew on itself. But the expansion came about because I was reading about the franchising, and I thought there's a way that I can expand my business and have like mini me's all around the country running a Fernwood the same as me. So
Yes.
by selling franchises, there were women the same as me, running their gyms in other parts of
Wow.
of the country. So that was probably, I think, one of the reasons why we've been successful is because I went down the franchising path. I was able to get franchisees to do exactly the same as I was doing, but then we had all of these people together, mostly women, but there were some male franchisees as well.
Oh, right.
And so basically it's like a community of business people all running the same business. So like-minded people working on improving the brand and so that's one of the reasons I think we were so successful. But it was sort of something grew organically because the members really loved the
The
concept.
passion. You're passionate about it,
I
and
am, yeah.
obviously all the franchisors that get involved are
Exactly. And
passionate.
our members are so passionate about it. They love
Yes.
it. And, we have a lot of members who come and they join and then they think, oh, I'll go and join the gym up the road because it's cheaper or it's closer or whatever. And then they come back and say, oh, it's not like Fernwood, I'm coming back. So they're very passionate about the brand as well. And so are our employees. So
It's something you really protect. And I
yeah.
noticed because we did the 28 Days That Changed My Life series
Yes.
with Fernwood
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
And what I appreciated filming in the gyms was the real cultural respect as well, and people being able to use the gym that maybe are veiled and can take off their veils and have that privacy. And if you're not exposed to that, you don't realise how limiting that could be for women.
Yeah, it totally is. I mean, there are a lot of Islamic women around the country who have no other option than to join a women's gym. They can't go to a mixed gym.
Yes.
And so they have no other choice. It's wonderful for them. And in some of the areas, like in Western Sydney or some areas where there's a high population of Islamic women, it's wonderful for them, and they have a great community coming into the gym and our employees as well.
And I just noticed when I was in the gym too that the really beautiful, warm feeling, everything about the gym environment was really inviting and clean and fresh, and all of those things that perhaps some of the other gyms might be a little bit sad looking, a little bit grubby. You can definitely tell it's a women's gym. Let's just say that.
Also, some people say, well, what's different about Fernwood? I say to them, well, you really have to just walk in the door and then you'll know. You feel that sense of community, that comfortable feeling, and the fact that it's so pristine and clean. And, it's not just some gyms have a section for women to work out in, a mixed gym, but it's not the same.
Yes, well, those sections wouldn't have enough weights for you, knowing what you lift now. So
no,
having
possibly not.
entire gyms where they can have free range to use
Absolutely,
everything.
it's their place, and it's more than just the working out. It's a community of women, and a lot of our members, after they've worked out, they'll come and sit down and have a coffee and a chat together.
You've got beautiful lounge areas, I noticed too, so people can go and prepare their breakfast.
Yes,
we
put on complimentary breakfast for our members to come in the morning, so they can make themselves some breakfast before they go off to work. And
amazing.
Yes, we try to make it like a lounge or a home. We invite them into our home. And,
Well, I noticed training people for the show in your gyms was how you've got all the different areas. So there was Pilates, the one we went into with the reformer Pilates, and then beautiful change rooms, the gym areas, the group fitness areas, and the women that I was taking in, some of them had never been to a gym before.
Yeah.
And to actually let their guard down and to feel comfortable, not only being filmed, but being in a gym and doing a workout with unfamiliar things. There was a real sense of belonging in the gyms. And that's something you don't always feel when you walk into a gym.
No, it's not. And, it can be quite intimidating, even for a woman to walk into a Fernwood if they've never been into a gym before and they, what is expected of me? What am I expected to do? What do I wear? Am I going to look out of place? Am I going to be awkward and not be able to do the exercise? All these things go through their minds of self-doubt, which is why they then talk themselves out of going instead of just going in.
Yes.
We do what we can to try and educate our members before they actually come in so that they know what to expect so they don't feel uncomfortable.
Now, I'm sure it hasn't been all roses. I'm sure there's been some challenging times, and COVID would have been one of them.
Yeah.
But what other big challenges have you had in the last, how many years is this?
36. Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, there's been a lot of challenges. I think I'm not one person to sort of dwell on those challenges and see them as disasters. I kind of enjoy them in a way because it gives me an opportunity to see what can I do to fix
Learn
this.
and grow.
Absolutely. So I suppose the GFC was a pretty big one. That was a major challenge when a lot of our franchisees were very nervous about losing their businesses. All businesses were sort of going backwards and at that time, I decided we'd just change the colours. Okay, what we're going to do, we used to be blue and green, and I decided you're all going to paint your clubs charcoal and pink. And have this new transformation. It's a cheap way to actually change the look of the clubs.
Yes.
And that was
it's this beautiful bright pink too, isn't it? Now that makes sense.
Yeah, this is the pink and with charcoal. So it was basically a way that I could get our franchisees out of that feeling of despair and worry into excitement. And when our members came in, they saw the new colours. Oh, this is a wonderful thing. So it changed the momentum of how people felt when they went to the gym. So that was a worrying time over a few years. Obviously, in the early days, it was very stressful trying to grow the business because when you start a franchise, you actually have to get enough businesses open to sustain the operation. Because
that's right, behind the scenes. You're responsible for all of the marketing and
that's
HR
right. And you have one
operating.
franchisee and they expect you to be like McDonald's and have advertising and TV and, so you can't always sort of provide all of that. So you have to grow quickly to get that critical mass of clubs open. And with no money, that was rather daunting, to say the least. There was lots of nights I'd lay awake and look at the ceiling and wondering where the money was going to come from, but there was always a solution, always a way, and we got there in the end.
And you've got through COVID. That has to have been one of the biggest challenges.
It was a good thing and a bad thing. It wasn't a good thing at all. It was a terrible thing for a lot of reasons, but it did give us the opportunity to relook at the business. And we were closed in Melbourne. We were closed like forever, and so it gave us the opportunity to say, what can we do differently now? What can we change? What we do, change some of the processes and procedures. So it gave us an opportunity to have this clean sheet of paper when the doors opened again to do things a little bit differently. So there was an opportunity in that, even though it was a disastrous time. And we had. When it first started, I thought, how are we ever going to stay in business, with this and have all these franchisees, we're panicking and worrying about what to do. So I started a webinar every week. I'd have a webinar and have them all come on board, and we'd have a bit of a motivational webinar. I'd invite guests to come on and motivate and just talk to them about leadership or
so important. Keep people inspired.
And keep our franchisees thinking about the future rather than worrying about what they might be losing.
And that uncertainty, because there was no real end. We didn't know when it was going to end.
We did not know. And then it would open again and then we'd close again. But, we've come out of it, this side of it, and we're stronger than we've ever been before. Some of the things that we implemented during that time were really worthwhile things to do. So the business has improved dramatically since then. So it was a good thing, as it all turned out.
Yes.
Really.
And what is the legacy that you want to leave? So I still can't believe that you're 80 and
I
you're
can't either.
actively building this incredible business.
Mm.
What is it that I mean, you've gifted the world with Fernwood
Mm.
and really opened up the opportunity, particularly for Islamic women to work
Yeah.
out,
Mm.
but all women to feel comfortable in a
Mm.
space and leading the way with strength and weights rather
Mm.
than just aerobics and G-strings like it would have been in the 1980s.
Absolutely. Things have changed dramatically. And I think another thing that I'm very proud of is the fact that now there's a lot of, I'm not exactly sure the number of businesswomen who now run their own businesses because of Fernwood.
Oh, that's
Right.
incredible to think. Yeah, women leading in business as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have a lot of franchisees that are women now, and they would never have been. They would never have been in business if it wasn't for Fernwood. I've got one particular lady is in Sydney. She came out to Australia. She was a refugee, couldn't speak English. She started up a cleaning company, or started cleaning, and then started a cleaning company in Sydney. She became a member of Fernwood. She decided she wanted to own a Fernwood. And
Gosh.
so now she's one of our most successful franchisees, and she's an Islamic woman. That would not have happened if it wasn't for Fernwood, and her and her daughter run this very successful Fernwood in Sydney. And I see all these women who we've just put a book out actually, which is called Women Fit to Lead.
And it's
And
all of their
it's all of
stories,
their
isn't it?
stories about where they've come from and how they came to be a business owner. So I think one of the things I'm very proud of is that I've been able to inspire a lot of women to become businesswomen, and the ripple effect of that will go on.
Oh, absolutely. You've
Mm.
opened a door that nobody can close now. So
That's
thank
it.
you so much. Incredible story. And thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
This is the Inspired CEO, and we'll be right back.